What up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican. Still here with my evil cat. Second video today, but I wanted to cover this. I did a half-hour video, yesterday about the Brussels attack, but I think there's a bit of overkill, and so I'm gonna try and condense this down to like 10 minutes or less. Hopefully, don't count on it. Where to start? Let me start off on a dual front. Let me say to both Muslims and non-Muslims, at this point, if you believe in Islamic terrorism, then this is willful ignorance and therefore malicious on your part. For the Muslims, especially the Muslims, this is a religion, Islam is a religion of logic and reason. Believe it or not, it is. We have sciences to the Quran, we have sciences to the Hadith. You just can't make stuff up how you want to. And what you come to find is, actually, you Muslims who follow this terrorist ideology, this Kharijite ideology, you guys are more in line with the non-Muslims who hate Islam than you are with Muslims. Why do I say that? When you look at the way that you guys interpret the Quran, it's the same way that the non-Muslims who hate Islam interpret the Quran. So you take the most, what you can consider to be extreme verses, and then you make ta'wil, you distort them, just like the non-Muslims do, to say, oh, look, wherever you find the disbelievers, kill them and find them, this, that, the other. And you don't look at the tafsir, the explanation of these verses, and the understanding of them, so that you can properly implement them if they're even relevant to your case and location, which 90% of the time it is not. So really, you guys have more in common, you terrorist Muslims have more in common with non-Muslims who hate Islam than you do with the average Muslim. So, and that probably explains why you guys kill more Muslims than you do non-Muslims in general. I mean, of course, we hear about Brussels, but then we're pretty silent about what happens when the average person gets killed in Syria or Turkey, as of recently. What happens in West Africa with the Christian cannibals eating Muslims out there. I mean, all this stuff goes and is given a pass. And this is thanks to you guys, because believe it or not, we get killed at a higher rate than non-Muslims do. Muslim blood is cheap these days. So I have to say, really, you guys, you claim that the non-Muslims are enemies to Islam because of the malicious ignorance that they have towards Islam. But I would have to say, okay, maybe that statement's correct. Yeah, that statement's correct. But you're right there with them. You're in the same rank with those guys. So you're an enemy to Islam worse than those people are. Because you're the enemy in the gates. While we as Muslims have to defend and against the attacks of those who hate us as Muslims from the outside, which is easy to defend because, like I said, this is a religion of logic and reason and understanding and knowledge, and you can easily combat ignorance with knowledge because you just refute it, and then the people look stupid for opening their mouths. But you guys, you're like the enemy inside the gates, hiding amongst the ranks. In that sense, it's like if I was being attacked by a dog, I can defend myself. I'll probably get messed up, but I can fight back. I can pick him up, I can choke him, I can throw him over a balcony, I can stab him with a knife, whatever. But a cancer, aka you inside the gates, inside the Muslim body, you're killing us from inside. And you're harder to detect and you're harder to fight. Now, Daesh, don't call them ISIS, Daesh, they laid claim to the Brussels attack. And there's an article, I'm going to link it in the comment section. And basically, our scholars have spoken about these Daesh guys. And that they're a bunch of ex-drug dealers, cons, criminals, crooks. And the article basically just covers how it's like, yeah, all these knuckleheads from the streets have become jihadi cool. To where it's like some sort of cool movement to join some jihadi group. And this is what these these useless, defective individuals in society, this is where they find their success. They don't fit into society, they're drug dealers, they're drug abusers, they're alcoholics. They're the dregs of the society. They're useless individuals already. And now to try and find some personal value, because everybody wants to feel good about themselves and have some sort of value, they go and they become a jihadi. And oh, now I've got respect and honor because I'm going to go blow myself or other people up. And this is how you find your place in the world. But our scholars said this already. And now we've got the non-Muslims. They even catching on to it. You don't have any honor. You have no izzah. You're in opposition to Islam. Everything you're doing opposes Islam. You're the antithesis of what Muslims are supposed to be. You know, I would say go to Syria and blow yourself up, but the Syrian people are suffering enough. They don't need you knuckleheads out there making it worse for them. Why don't you just go go drown yourself? Go crawl under a rock and die or something. But stop harming the Muslims, because it's guys like me that suffer. It's the Muslim woman on the street who, a mealy mouth response, they gotta suffer. People who ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That's why we can't have nice stuff. People like you is why a guy like me ended up on a no-fly list. Why am I on a no-fly list? I don't like you. My evil cat's like sharpening his claws on the thing. Get on, man. What you doing? You know, and I ain't got anything to do with that, but I gotta suffer. Sisters on the streets who are an obvious and open target gotta suffer. I mean, sometimes, okay, this whole mealy mouth thing with the Twitter guy, she didn't suffer. That was actually quite funny, the blowback. Besides him getting arrested just for being an idiot. That was stupid. They shouldn't have arrested him. But nonetheless, it turned out pretty funny. The average Muslim is suffering from your ignorance. So how do you look at the non-Muslims and talk about the harm they bring on the Muslims when you're bringing greater harm? You're opening the doorway to that harm. You're opening the doorway to that hatred that you talk about and despise so much. Does it make sense? Does it logically make sense? Are you using your head? When Islam started spreading throughout the world, contrary to popular belief, it wasn't by the sword. People became Muslim in droves because of the manners of the Muslims. Look at when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, took over Mecca. Came in with a huge army and took over Mecca. And animals weren't killed. Women weren't raped. Children and men were spared. Because normally what happened back there in those days in the Arab Peninsula, they'd go in, they'd slaughter all the men, they'd enslave the women and the children. And the Prophet Muhammad came in, didn't do any of that. Just took the city over and says, boom, this is a Muslim city now. Nobody was slaughtered. Nobody was taken in the streets and beheaded. And the people were like, what the heck? What kind of dudes are these? Because that's not what they were used to. That wasn't the methodology or behavior of the people of that time. They were expecting them to come in and do like they would have done had they got the victory over the Muslims. Rape, kill, pillage, enslave. And when the people saw this, and they were like, 1 day passes, 2 day passes, 3 days passes, months pass, people became Muslim in droves because they're like, yo, these dudes are special. It's your manners that causes people to become Muslim. And your manners makes people hate Islam. Makes people hate Islam. And it's a beautiful religion. I wasn't always Muslim. You think I would have became Muslim if it was such a crazy and bad religion? Am I really so illogically nuts that I seem like I would do like illogic and, nutter stuff? If this religion was really so bad, do you think that I would become Muslim? I don't know. Maybe you guys go, oh, he's a goofy guy and that's why he became Muslim. I don't know. But I mean, I know a lot of people who have reverted to Islam, and they're very intelligent, very logical men and women. So I don't think it's the religion, guys. I think it's you knuckleheads out there in the ranks of the Muslims that are fostering this hate. You guys should join ranks with the non-Muslims who hate us, because you guys have more in common than you do with the common Muslim. Man, give it a break, dudes, man. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. So, this is just my rant at the moment. I think it's better than my half-hour rant. I went in deep, and I didn't really have a direction. Just like this video doesn't really have a direction, but it's just kind of frustrating to deal with this stuff, man. to just watch it over and over. After so many scholars, so many students of knowledge, so many speakers have put proof and evidence that this is not from Islam. It's malicious now. Now it's intentional. Now you're just being outright disobedient Muslims to Allah and the commands of the messenger. Peace and blessings be upon him. It's just malicious now. Now you're just openly opposing Islam after you've been taught what the truth is. And if you truly believe in Allah on the last day, and you think you're going to be rewarded for that in the hereafter, and to the non-Muslims, let me just go while we're talking about rewards in the hereafter. If you think the 72 virgin thing is real, show me the proof for it. Where did anybody ever say 72 virgins? Stop saying that crap. Nobody ever said that. You guys made this up. Stop, please. You sound stupid. Stop saying that stuff. It drives me crazy. They think they're going to get 72 virgins. Nobody, find me one shred of evidence, Google it, and show me a textual proof, and I'll accept it from you. And then show me a textual proof that killing yourself gets you 72 virgins. Stop saying that stupid crap. You sound as dumb as those idiots who are out there blowing themselves up saying it's from Islam. You sound equally as stupid. It's just you're not killing yourself over that stupidity, so you're slightly less stupid, okay? Just please stop with the ignorance. It's willful at this point. Google, it's not a place or a source to get Islamic knowledge, but God dog, you can find a lot of resources on there. So what I'm going to do in the low bar is drop a resource for you. It's spubs.com. And you can get all your information there on Islam, its stance on terrorism, how these guys are wrong, where their origins come from, and why and who they are today. And how you can even spot them, because knowledge will teach you. It's unfortunate that the onus has to be put on you guys nowadays. You're going to have to do your homework if you need to spot these guys. You have to. It's like anything. If you want knowledge and you want to be a definitive source of information on something to where you don't sound like an idiot, you have to do your homework. You have to do due diligence. So I'm going to give you the resources to do it. But your excuse, both Muslim and non-Muslim, is removed. There's no excuse to be stupid in 21st century. Not in 2016. It's been removed from you. Now, at this point, it's just malicious, and it's like just this malignant ignorance cancer that's just spreading throughout the world. You don't have an excuse. Stop saying dumb. I'm not going to cuss. Just stop saying dumb stuff. Both Muslims and non-Muslims, please. Just stop. Oh, you guys are going to give me an aneurysm with this stuff, man. Really, sometimes I hear it and I'm just like, oh, God. Dang, man, I don't consider myself a hyper intelligent person or super intelligent. So if I can figure it out, and I think most of the world is probably on par with me or smarter, I don't have this huge, massive ego that you people think I do. But if I can figure it out, then your excuse, it's not there. It's not there. Anyway, it's your man, Abuamerican. Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at Abuamerican. I'm out.